Current with ECTV, and we're here with Lizzie Akubo and Teruko Neuwalder talking about her experience in a Japanese internment camp.
Hi, my name is Lizzie with ECTV, and today I'm here with Miss Neuwalder. How are you doing today?
A little nervous, but I'm fine. Thank you.
Me too. Yeah, I'm feeling a little nervous, but very excited today. Could you start by telling me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I just moved here to the West Coast. I was born in San Francisco, but because of the war, we were put in relocation camps, and then from there moved to New York. So I grew up in New York City and environment around it, and most recently I was living in New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
And came here over a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty different here compared to New Jersey, New York.
You have a fantastic weather.
Mm-hmm, that's so true, yes.
And my daughter.
Mm-hmm. Could you share with us your early childhood memories of what life was like before the bombing of Pearl Harbor?
Well, when Pearl Harbor occurred, I was, I think, 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I lived in a house of 3 generations, meaning my grandparents, my parents, and the children, but also the older brother, my father's older brother and his family with 2 boys.
Oh, wow.
And a third brother, yeah. So it was a very full, active, noisy, I think. I think especially the 2 boys were very rambunctious.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
that's nice. I love a big family.
Right.
So culturally, did you feel like your family was more American, Japanese, or was it a mix?
It was a mix, I think, because my grandparents lived there. I felt it felt very Japanese also. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you and your family speak Japanese at home, or was it mainly English?
It was not mainly English because my grandparents lived there and they spoke only, mostly Japanese. I would say they spoke very little English.
Mm-hmm.
That my parents spoke a lot of Japanese.
Yeah.
And I presume I spoke a lot of Japanese when I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Were your parents born here, like your mom and dad, or were they from Japan?
My mother was born in the U.S., in Watsonville.
Okay.
And she came from a big farming family. And at a certain point, when she was young, though, like as far as I know, when she was under 10 or 11, she went to live with her grandmother. I think it was to become like a very nice Japanese girl or a woman. Right.
Okay.
And then when she came back at about 18 or 19 years old, and so she was culturally always very, very traditional Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas my father, do you want to know about it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he came when he was about 13 years old.
13.
And he went to American high school.
Mm-hmm.
And some teachers were very, maybe they were just interested. They may not have seen many Japanese children at that time. And so he went to regular high school, football player.
Oh, wow.
And he became an architect.
An architect.
Right.
That's very cool. Do you know what made him want to become an architect?
Wow. Well, I'd say he must have been fascinated with buildings and liked them a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, because we took a little tour one time and saw some of the buildings for which he was an architect, like the San Francisco Buddhist Church, the Oakland Buddhist Church, and the San Jose one.
Oh, that's wonderful.
If you haven't been to San Jose, it's traditional. Well, it's very beautiful.
Yeah, it is. I've been there. It is very beautiful,
right.
very impressive. Yeah. So I know that when you had to relocate to the internment camps, you were only allowed to bring what you could carry. Could you tell me a little bit about this?
I know that when we left to go to the first camp, I had to give away my most precious thing, which was a big doll.
Oh.
Yeah, because she was too big to carry with everything else.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So I couldn't take her. So that was a very sad thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Which
very
I sort of
sad.
remember it almost like reading a book. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have to leave her with did you leave her with somebody else, or just you had to
One of
leave her?
she was one of my close friends.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's-
it's interesting because I wrote a little story about it
Oh, you did.
in third person of my memory of that, holding the doll and giving it to my best friend. Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Growing up, I had a Hello Kitty stuffed animal, and so I loved her so much. I brought her with me everywhere. So I can't imagine what that might have
Right.
felt like as a child to leave your most prized possession behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must have
was
been very,
difficult.
very difficult. Yes. So, what were the living conditions like within the transition internment camps? Because that's where you were. You're in a transition camp.
Yeah. What does it? What just? Oh, what?
What were the living conditions like?
Oh, the living conditions. Well, the first camp that we went to was the Tamparan racetrack.
Okay.
And I don't remember where we lived, but my father tells me we did not live in the stables. Some people had to live in the stables.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the only thing that was great about going to Tamparan was that they had a tremendous seating capacity. It was huge because it was a racetrack. And at night they used to have wonderful talent shows, like people who
Oh.
sang or danced that I'd never been to before. And as a 6-year-old, that's a fantastic place to be.
Yeah. Nice entertainment.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of the rules they had there? Like what the community was like, maybe? Or anything like
I
that?
don't really remember that much about Topaz, yeah.
Okay.
Except that we stood in line, very, very long lines for meals.
Oh.
Yeah.
How long were you there for?
I don't know, several months, but I don't know. Yeah.
So you were very young when you went there. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced as a child during this time?
I guess it was having a lot of time that had to be filled in some way, and I don't remember what exactly we did. But we did, at that point, we didn't go to school. But because we left San Francisco when I was in just towards the end of first grade, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you didn't go to school during the camps? There was no classes or anything like that?
Well, the first time we moved to the Tamparan racetrack, they it was, I think it was too soon. It was not organized. They just wanted to get the Japanese people out of California.
Yeah.
There was a wartime hysteria that they must have been afraid of the Japanese on the mainland would collaborate with the Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a tremendous scare.
Yeah. That's really interesting that they thought that, because most Japanese Americans, they were American citizens. They were born
Absolutely.
here. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Growing up, how did this event impact your relationship with your family members, especially your parents?
Well, I think I wanted to protect them or something like that.
Yeah.
So we didn't ask them any questions about it. But if they had something to say, they can say it to me. But certainly I had curiosity because I had forgotten a lot about what happened there.
Yeah.
But we talked more about everyday life. Yeah. Right.
Do you think you got maybe closer with your parents? Or what was that connection like?
We might have become closer had I been able to ask the questions, and had they been willing to just open up and just start telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a
But it
way.
was something that I think it might have been so difficult, hard to explain.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah,
Especially to a child.
Right.
Yeah, they were probably just trying to protect you,
Right.
maybe.
Also, you feel ashamed because you've been, for instance, when I went to school, I think I was in 4th grade. I mean, I didn't know how to explain where I came from or what I was doing there.
Yeah.
So when kids said, "Where did you come from?" I would say San Francisco, first I'd say California, and then I'd say San Francisco, and at that point they would just start talking about Hollywood and movie stars and how great it must have been when I lived in California.
Yeah.
And so the other part never got told to my friends. Yeah.
Yeah, their perspective was really like a big contrast compared to your actual experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have siblings there during the time?
My sister. Yeah.
Yeah. What was your relationship like? How did you guys experience it together?
Well, I think we were closer during the war because we spent a lot of time together. I mean, for instance, I think when we first moved to the camp, it was still being built and set up. So at first we had no school, and then we had, I was going to say make-believe teachers. Well, they actually might have been like juniors in college who were enlisted and volunteered to teach school, like kindergarten or first grade, second grade. Yeah, so at the beginning, we didn't have any notebooks and papers and things like that. Yeah. I mean, all of that came in with time, yeah.
Was she older than you or younger?
She was younger.
Oh, wow. So did you feel like you also wanted to protect her, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, we spent a lot of time together. Yeah. Because I think it also was the impact of moving and always being with now strangers, even if they're all Japanese strangers, you know, and getting used to them.
Yeah. Must have been very different. Were there any coping mechanisms or activities that helped you and your family get through the daily life in the camps?
Well, a favorite time, I think it was when I was getting a little bit older, meaning like 9 years old or something, that I took calligraphy lessons.
Calligraphy, that's cool.
Yeah, with sumi and brush, and the master would say, "No, we're going to do this today," and then he would demonstrate how you make these characters.
Yeah.
Which I didn't understand the characters, but I just liked the brush, what he did with the brush, and just the look of it. Yeah.
Yeah, the movements very smooth and beautiful.
Yeah, and I think these art masters are kind of mystical and particularly gifted in what they do. Yeah.
Yeah. So even though it was a very dark time in your life and our country's history, would you say you were able to experience some moments of joy there, just like the calligraphy classes? Do you remember anything else?
I mean, I don't remember any time when it was like it was horrible. I mean, I think there were a lot of things that I questioned. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
I mean, like I never questioned them, but I was wondering why do we have to move from to the Tampa Rams racetrack? Why do we have to move from the Tampa racetrack to go to Utah, the middle of the desert?
Yeah.
Right.
And most of those questions were left unanswered, would you say?
Well, I don't think I even formulated them. We felt the weight of what this meant to my parents. Yeah. So in other words, that we didn't ask a whole bunch of questions. We knew that, my parents didn't do this deliberately. That something was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you make any friends during the camp's time?
During the camp, yeah. But mostly because we played together. Yeah. Which is, I think. I mean, I remember we used to play some kind of games, to kick the can or something, things like that, and marbles. We would dig little holes and shoot the marble from a couple of feet to get them in the little hole. Yeah, so.
Yeah, little games to help you guys.
Yeah, very little games, yeah.
After being released from the internment camps, how did your family recover and return back to a normal life? What was that process like?
Well, first of all, my father left about 6 months before we left. My father left. The war was still going on, but there was a time when people were not afraid. I mean, people who had power didn't fear that the nationals would take over the West Coast.
Yeah.
So they after investigating their past records, certain people requested they could leave the camp, but they could go east, but they weren't going. Nobody was going west. So my father got permission to leave, and he came to New York City, and so that's where he was for 6 months until January of 1945. Then he said he had found an apartment. He was earning a living, and he got permission that we could join him.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was pretty
good.
wonderful.
Yeah, growing up in New York, what was like that after your experience?
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
I don't think we look back on the camp experience. I think it was mostly like, this is so terrific, in a buzzing city, and we also lived near Central Park.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so it was, and my father used to take us to Central Park, and it was very good to be free.
Yeah, freedom.
Right. Yeah. I mean, of course, we were young enough so that wherever we went with our parents. So it wasn't that we had all this exploration, but it was so totally different what was going on at camp, what went on at camp. Yeah.
Do you hold any resentment towards the government now, like after you experienced the internment? I know you're very young, but even now, do you feel anything?
It was constitutionally, legally incorrect or un-American to imprison, people who had nothing to do with the war, except that their faces were yellow.
Yeah.
Right. So there was some bitterness, I think, even amongst children and young adults. But we were so happy to be free, and I think that was more foremost in our minds. We weren't ready to say why. In another, we didn't ask the hard questions, right?
Yeah. In 4th grade, that was the first time I learned about like the Japanese internment camps in history. And when I heard about it and my family's connection with it, I felt really sad because I was just like, what a terrible thing to have happened to some people, human beings too. It's like, why would you treat them that way? But I totally understand, yeah. Did you ever feel ashamed of your Japanese culture and identity?
Yes, I did, yeah.
You did?
I mean, I personally felt as if guilty being Japanese, that I was part of the clan who they were murdering soldiers, American soldiers, and somehow, it was a common feeling also.
Yeah.
And in those days, we didn't get our information from television, but we go to the newsreels and we go to see movies, right? They always had recent newsreels, and they would show soldiers, and they would on film they would be explained that these Japs, did these brutal battles and things like that. So at that point, when I saw these things, I thought, I feel terrible because these are culturally my ancestors. Yeah.
Yeah. How old were you when they were showing like that on the
No, I
news?
was about 10 years old.
9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. So in like, was it like elementary school? Did you ever feel like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, what was that emotion like, especially with like other kids who were probably
Well,
also
that's why
seeing
I
that?
told them, when they say, where'd you come from? I'd say California. I didn't say I came from a camp in the desert.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how to explain that.
Yeah.
But all I knew was I was ashamed that I was in prison like that. Right.
Yeah. So did you ever feel personally targeted due to prejudice?
There was a certain exclusion. For instance, when I was about, 13, 14 years old. And I had my group of friends, and we would have parties with boys and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew that the boys weren't going to ask me out
Oh.
because I was Japanese, right?
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it was a different time.
It was definitely.
Right. And especially in New York, there were very few Asians.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we went to New York, I only knew about 2 or 3 Japanese restaurants.
Wow.
And then, years following that, they were all over the place.
Yeah.
Now
it's like
there are
completely
fewer.
different now.
Right. Now there are fewer.
Yeah. So moving on to your professional life, what inspired you to pursue a career in medicine, and how do you think your experiences shaped that decision? What'd you say?
Well, I don't really know where the idea of medicine occurred to me, except that I do believe that I saved some magazine information. And in this magazine, I don't know what the name of the magazine was, it talked about the Women's Medical College of Pennsylvania, which was then I believe it was the only women's medical college left.
Mm-hmm.
And well, you should know that, now all the medical schools are 50-50, women and men.
Yeah.
But in those days, there were quotas, like 5% were women.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
It's an unbelievable,
Yeah.
huge change. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I read this, I think it was in Life or Look magazine or something. What is it? Pictorial kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it just looked fascinating.
Oh.
Yeah, so early on, it was in the back of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Growing up, were you interested in science, or what were like your favorite subjects in school?
I liked math.
Math? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I usually liked the social studies teachers, the history. Yeah.
Me too. Growing up, history was my favorite as well.
Yeah, right.
It's very interesting to learn about the past.
Uh-huh.
So, how did your family react to your decision to pursue higher education?
Well, I wasn't sure they were going to approve of it. So I actually thought that they weren't going to approve of it. So I actually went to work and saved some money. And I approached my father and I told him, I want to go to medical school.
Mm-hmm.
And I saved like half the amount of the tuition for the first year of medical school. And he said, go ahead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was a little surprised, but
Mm-hmm.
but I actually wanted to be an architect like my father.
Oh, just like him?
But there were only about 1 or 2% women architects.
Yeah.
And when I told my father I wanted to become an architect, and he said, it's not a profession for a woman.
Oh.
Yeah. Because he said when they're in the office, they do bad mouth talking,
Mm-hmm.
and they curse, and it's not a place for a woman.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of pushed you away towards architecture.
From
and-
architecture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I admired my father, so
Mm-hmm.
it was. I also used to go to when my father went to work on Saturday mornings. I would go with him, and then I'd be able to, use the typewriters and the copy machines, things like that.
Yeah, and was that fun for you?
Right, that
Yeah,
was
it's, like,
great
interesting.
fun. And he would take me out for lunch
Oh.
at a restaurant, Schraf's.
So I know earlier you mentioned that you wrote a story about you leaving your doll behind. Have you written any other stories or maybe like journals of your experience?
I haven't. I might have written like 2 pages of journals and things, but I had nothing. Nothing like my sister-in-law has, volumes of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, she can tell you in certain periods what happened on Thursday.
Very like
Yeah.
specific.
Yeah.
Okay. Were there any challenges that you faced as a Japanese American woman pursuing a medical career? because that was more unusual maybe at that time, right?
Yeah, there weren't many, but I actually went to the Women's Medical College of Pennsylvania, which was the last all-female medical school. Yeah, so and there were, I would say, about 4 Asian women. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So it was very unusual.
Yeah.
It was a very unusual medical school too, because it was the last of the women's medical colleges.
Yeah. Because it was a male-dominated field.
It was, right.
Yeah.
Which I have to say, it was. I mean, I'm very happy that I went there, because in the male schools, it was really tough for women, and a lot of women dropped out of the co-ed schools because there was a time when even professors would joke. They'd be talking about the breast or something, and some lewd remark would creep in there. Yeah, it was a different time.
It was very different. So for me, this was a very painful time in U.S. history to look back upon, yet it's not often talked about, especially in the Japanese American community. Why might you think that this is? Because for me, my grandfather, even though he went to the internment camps in Amachi, Colorado, throughout my whole life, I've only heard him talk about his experience once, and it was very brief. So I've always wondered, why isn't this shared experience often talked about?
When I think about it, I've thought about things like that because I don't think my parents and I didn't really talk about it either.
Oh,
yeah. I might, there were a couple of times when I remember things and I would talk about it. Meaning, like my father was the head of all the building in the camp because he was a registrar architect. And so he was really a big shot in the camp because it was still being built. And so he had a car, and every so often we could leave camp in his car and go to town, Delta, Utah, and get ice cream cones.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was like a super duper treat.
Yeah, sweet memory. So is there any advice you would like to share to young people today about overcoming adversity and pursuing their dreams?
Where you go to school and get your education is very important. In other words, I went to the New York City schools, but at that time they had things like regents, and everybody who finished taking algebra run the entire city would take exams, and they would get a grade. And the colleges looked gave great weight to regent scores because it was universal in that area. And I think people could advance far by having very good grades.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also because there was a uniformity, because everybody in the city took the same exam. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming here and not only sharing your story, but the stories of many others. So I've had an amazing time talking with you today. So thank you so much.
Oh, I enjoyed speaking with you. It's actually very kind of light feeling to be able to talk about it each time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much
Thank
for coming. Yeah. This has been Lizzie with ECTV, and thank you so much for watching.
I'm Laurel, and thank you for watching this episode.